Hello everyone, long time no see. Now in this period of class, we are going to learn the second unit, Unit 2, in Module 2, about the Olympic Games. But before that, we have to do the revision. Now, last period of class, we say something about the attributive clause. Well, here, you need to make up some sentences by using the information given in the bracket and also the picture here. Now, remember, you will be given one picture and use the picture to make up two sentences. One is restrictive and the other is non-restrictive. Okay, now let's have a go. Okay, the first picture, have a look at the man. What's wrong with him? Now, let's have a look at the given information. Yeah, the man, and how about his leg? Here is the verb break, how to use it. Football game, and be taken to hospital. Well, the second piece of information, in the second bracket, man lying on the ground and be taken to hospital. So please think about it and make up two sentences. Well, let's have a look at the first one. This one is a attributive clause, right? The man whose leg was broken in the football game was taken to hospital. Yeah, pay attention to the words, the sentence in red. That's the attributive clause, yeah. And the words and the phrases in, I would say the sentence in blue is a main clause, right? Let's say it again. The man whose leg was broken in the football game was taken to hospital. Okay, let's move to the second one. Yeah, you see the comma, and that's a non-attributive clause, right? The man who was lying on the ground was taken to hospital. The man who was lying on the ground was taken to hospital. Right, you see? You got right? Okay, now let's move to the second picture. Look at the two pictures. Look at the person's face, the facial expression, and also the house. Right, it's a burning house, right? Okay, now let's have a look at the information here. Man, reason, shout, and house on fire. Here, man whose house, shout. Wow. Now, the first one, the reason why the man is shouting is that his house is on fire. The reason why. Are you familiar with the structure? Yeah, that's attributive clause, right? The reason why the man is shouting is that his house is on fire. The reason is that his house is on fire. Okay, the second one, the man, comma, whose house is on fire is shouting. Now here, non-attributive clause, right? The relationship between man clause and the non-attributive clause is not so close, right? Now, so much about the exercise. Now, let's move to Unit 3, the Olympic Games. Okay, I'm sure everybody in China, everybody in Beijing, especially the people in Beijing, very happy to see our capital host the 2008 Olympic Games successfully, right? Now, today we are going to talk about something about Olympic Games in Unit 2. Well, before we read the passage, okay, we need to know some words and expressions. Maybe some words, I think. Now, let's have a look at the two pictures here. What are they? Maybe you are not familiar with them. But how about this one and this one, right? Let's pay special attention to this one, right? We call it 福娃. And so you know, the word should be mascot. Mascot. 这就是我们所说的吉祥物 mascot. Okay, now the next one. Okay, have a look at the two buildings. Yeah, everybody in China, everybody in Beijing are very familiar with them, right? And it is called what? Somehow like some bubbles, right? It's called water cube. 水立方. And how about this one? Yeah, it's a bird nest. 鸟巢. Okay, all of them, we call them stadium, right? Stadiums. Olympic stadiums. Well, let's move to the third one. Well, what is it? Yeah, it's called olive wreath. The olive wreath. 橄榄枝. Well, that's the Olympic flag. Yeah, 奥运国旗. Now, do you have the background knowledge? Different colors represent different meaning, right? Represent different continent. Now, let's have a look at the blue one. Yeah, the blue ones represent Europe. And the one in the middle, the black one, represents Africa. The one in red represents America. And this one, green, Australia. The yellow one, of course, Asia, right? Okay, let's move on. Yeah, let's have a look at the pictures. The pictures in the following will tell you something about the events in the Olympic Games. And this one, yeah, maybe you know it in Chinese, but in English it's called fencing. Fencing. And this one, I'm sure you know, basketball. Let's move on. Well, have a look at this one. It's got judo, and ice hockey. Well, weightlifting, what is it? That's weightlifting, 举重, sailing, 帆船, shooting, and shooting 可以是射击这项运动. Okay, let's move on. Some more events in Olympic Games. Wrestling and volleyball, right? Volleyball. Okay, let's move on. Well, this picture is cool, right? It's called horse riding, and hurdling, right? 110 meters hurdle, right? And here, it's a walking race, 竞走, working race. And this one is called relay race, 接力赛, relay race. Well, and how about this one? Yeah, mountain bike, cross country. Oh, you are very familiar with this one, right? That's called skiing. And how about this one? Ice skating. This one is a little bit difficult, maybe, right? It's called javelin. Well, are you familiar with the guy, the boy? Yeah. The picture describes what China's Lin Dan salutes the fans. Salutes. Its action is called salutes, right? Salutes the fans after winning the title of the men's badminton singles at Beijing Olympic Games, right? Yeah, that's high jump and that's long jump, right? And that's called shot put, 就是铅球. And that's called discus, 铁饼, right? Well, it's called tennis. And that's table tennis. Well, who is she? It's a very famous athlete. Yeah, he's our diving queen, 郭晶晶. And now that's diving. Now the women's 3-meter springboard, 3米板, right? And this one is called torch. They are the torch, the Olympic torch, right? Well, so much about the words. Now let's have a look at the exercise on your textbook. Here, now I want to inform that there are some sporting events played between teams. So can you think about it? What are they? Yeah, they are badminton, basketball, relay race, sailing, soccer, gymnastics, table tennis, volleyball, and football, right? And so on. And some sporting events done best by Chinese athletes. What are they? I'm sure you can name something. Of course, we are good at playing badminton, table tennis, volleyball, weightlifting, diving, shooting, hurdling, gymnastics, right? Okay. If you want to know more, maybe these days you can log online and surf the internet to get some more information about the Olympic Games, the sports events in 2008 Olympic Games, right? Okay, now let's move to the reading passage. For this reading passage, well, you are going to find out some information on ancient and modern Olympic Games. So just some questions. No more, no other exercises. Some questions. Now let's have a look at. Now, have a look at the first one. How often did people hold the Olympic Games? And how often do people hold the Olympic Games? You have the background knowledge, I'm sure. And how many sets of games were held? Are held? Who could take part in the Olympic Games before? And who can take part in the Olympic Games in modern times, I mean. And who were prevented to take part in the Olympic Games? In the ancient Olympic Games. Well, where do the athletes come from? Where were the Olympic Games held in ancient times? And where are the Olympic Games held in modern times? Okay, some more questions. What could or can the winners get as prize? What is the spirit of Olympic Games? And what events are held? How many events were held or are held? When and where do ancient modern Olympic Games start? Now let's have a look at number 10. What did the Olympic Games encourage, and what do the Olympic Games encourage? 过去和现在，古代奥运会和现代奥运会，他们所倡导、所鼓励的又是一些什么呢？第11个 ，What was the importance of Olympic Games, and what is the importance of Olympic Games? 那么古代奥运会和现代奥运会，他们都有什么样的重要性呢？都有什么样的区别呢？好，那么这11个问题是针对古代奥运会和现代奥运会的不同和相同进行提出来的。所以在读完这篇文章之后，希望同学们能够做出一个这样的表格。左面 the ancient Olympic Games, well something on the right modern Olympic Games， 然后把这11个信息都填好。Well, let's have a look at the answers. Well, for the first one, how often did or do people hold their Olympic Games? Yes, every 4 years. 这是一样的。The same information every 4 years. 每隔4年，每4年 right? And how many sets of games are held? Here, sets. What is sets? Okay, you can read your passage and I'm sure you will get the answer. Well, for the ancient Olympic Games, people held Olympic Games, only one set of games in the ancient times, right? And for the modern games, we have 2 sets. That's Winter Olympic Games, Summer Olympic Games, 2 sets, right? Okay, let's move on. Who could take part in the Olympic Games in ancient times? 在古代奥运会当中，是谁可以参加呢？哪些人可以参加？哪些人不可以参加？被阻止呢 ？Who were prevented？ 那现代又有哪些人可参加？ Well, let's have a look at the answer. In ancient times, the free-born citizens were allowed to take part in the games, right? Of course, they were men and boys. But for the slaves and women, no. They didn't have the rights, right? Okay, now in modern times, the athletes who have reached a great standard are allowed to take part in the games, right? 达到标准的才可以参加这个奥运会。Well, number 4, where did the athletes come from? 那么原来的一些运动者，咱们说的这些运动员、运动健将都是从哪些地区、哪些国家来的呢？ And how about the athletes now? Okay, now for the athletes in ancient games, they were from Greece. And nowadays, the athletes are from all over the world, right? Every corner of the world. Well, number 5. Where were the Olympic Games held? Well, in the past, in ancient times, the Olympic Games were held in Olympia, but now Olympic Games are held in different countries. Well, number 6. What could and what can the winner get as prize? In ancient times, we mentioned the olive wreath, maybe a present. But now, yeah, they got medals, right? Number 7. What was the spirit of Olympic Games? In the past, in ancient times, the spirit is run faster, jump higher, and throw farther. Now, we have the almost the same one. Swifter, higher, stronger. 更快,更高,更强, right? Almost the same. Okay, number 8. What events were held in the past? And what events are held nowadays in modern times? And how many events? In ancient times, people had many events such as boxing, running, wrestling, and pentathlon. Well, nowadays we have over more than 250 events, right? Okay, the next one. When and where did ancient or modern Olympic Games start? The ancient Olympic Games started 776 BC before Christ, right? And in Olympia. For the modern Olympic Games, it started in 1896 AD after date. Let's move to number 10. What did and what do the Olympic Games encourage? Well, in ancient times, sporting excellence, well, we say, in other words, run faster, jump higher, throw farther. Yeah, these were encouraged, right? Well, nowadays, international friendship and cooperation, and also sporting excellence as well, are encouraged. Well, the last one. What was and what is the importance of Olympic Games? Well, in the past and nowadays, people thought the Olympic Games are the most important games in the world, right? Okay, now so much about the reading comprehension. If you are interested in it, you can go over the passage once again and get some more information, or read some news online, some updated news online. Now let's move to the vocabulary. The words on Olympics in this passage. Well, the first one is about stand for. Stand for. Now here, 4 explanations are given here. Now, first one, to support or represent a particular idea or set of idea. Represent, somehow like represent, right? Well, second one is be an abbreviation or short form of something. Abbreviation here means short form, 也就是我们所说的缩写、简写。The third one is be in favor of, or support, 支持、赞成。The last one is tolerate, put up with, or bear, 忍受、承受。Well, let's move to the exercise. Well, GMT stands for Greenwich Mean Time. Here stands for means what? 格林威治时间。那么这里的 stands for 应该是 be abbreviation, 简称简写。Now here, I cannot stand his impoliteness. Here, stand, but now stands for, right? Here, stand means bear or tolerate, 忍受、承受。我再也不能忍受他的无礼了，对吧？ Impoliteness. Our flag stands for our country. Now here, flag somehow like represent. 我们的这个旗子代表了我们的国家，就像刚才我们所说的奥运5环旗一样，不同颜色的这个环代表着不同的大洲。 While the last one, Joan, always stands for what is right. Now here, C, in favor of, or support, 支持赞成。他总是会支持赞成他所认为是对的东西。Right, that stands for. Now let's move to the next one. Here, you are given the Chinese explanation. The post arrives at 8 every morning. 定期。Well, somebody may say, well, regularly. Yes, very good. Regularly is one choice. And you can give another phrase. So, the phrase should be, on a regular basis, somehow like regularly. 那所以这个词定期照常，我们说就跟我们所说的副词 regularly 是一样的意思。好，那么这句话大家看一下怎么去翻译。他定期在下午过来看他。Well, he visited her in the afternoon on a regular basis. He visited her in the afternoon on a regular basis. Or you can also change it into he visited her in the afternoon regularly. Right? Okay, now let's move on to another one. Well, let's have a look at the explanation. To try to be more successful than someone or something else. So can you figure out what phrase it is? Okay, now let's have a look at the sentences. The two athletes are the gold medal. Maybe you can choose a phrase from the reading context, from the reading passage. 这两个运动员，他们俩正在为了什么而金牌而怎样？那么好，我们从文章当中应该可以找到 compete for should be the choice. But here, now are competing, right? ing form, right? The two athletes are competing for the gold medal. He was clever enough to the mathematics scholarship. Mathematics scholarship 这是我们说的奖学金，数学的奖学金。So clever enough to compete for the scholarship. The last one, all kids compete for their teacher's attention. 争先恐后的希望能够得到老师的注意力。Right? So here the phrase compete for 为什么而努力竞争？Well, the next one is replace. It's a verb. Now, 3 choices are given. First one is to take the place of 取代代替谁的位置 or to put something or somebody in the place or something or somebody else. 好，大家这可以记住一个 take the place of 取代谁的位置。Second one, to put something back in its correct place. 把它放回到原处。The third one, to get something new. To put in a place or something that is broken, stolen, too old. Well, maybe this one is a bit difficult to understand. It doesn't matter. Let's have a look at the sentences. Oh, can anything replace a mother's love and care? Well, yeah. Now, A is the choice. Can anything take the place of mother's care and love? 没有任何东西是可以取代、代替母爱、母亲的关怀的 right? Now here replace means take the place of. Second one, I will replace the cup I broke. C, yeah, to get something new, to put in the place or something that is broken. 有点像物归原主或者是偿还的意思哈。He replaced the magazine in the drawer. Drawer 这块应该是抽屉。Now here, B is the choice, to put something back in the correct place. 放回去哈，放回到原来的那个抽屉，原来的架子上。The factory replaced most of its workers with robots. Well, replace the worker, the labor, with robots. So here, the same meaning takes the place of. 用机器人取代了我们的人的劳动力 right? Well, by the way, do you know the noun form of replace? Can you figure out? Yeah, that's replacement, M-E-N-T plus M-E-N-T. Well, let's have a look at the sentence. The replacement of this. this rare vase will take some time. The replacement of this rare vase will take some time. Rare 不常见的、少见的、稀有的，代替、取代 replacement 的名词形式。Okay. Now the next one is the phrase make a bargain. Make a bargain. Well, now make a bargain. Bargain an agreement between two people or two groups in which each promises to do something in exchange for something else. 有点像我们说的讲价 right? Now here, I will tidy the kitchen if you clean the car. Okay, it's a bargain. 好，他说的是什么呢？我来清理厨房，打扫厨房，那你去洗车子。好吧，就这样吧。Right? It's a deal. It's a bargain. The management and employees eventually, here eventually means finally made a bargain or struck a bargain. 达成协议 right? So here, make a bargain means reach an agreement. 达成一致，达成协议。Okay, now let's move on. Deserve. Yeah, here, deserve. Now, this verb means to have earned something by good or bad action or behavior. Good or bad action, both okay, right? But they have different explanation. The first one, I hope they get the punishment they deserve. I hope they get the punishment they deserve. 我希望他们能够得到他们应有的惩罚 right? Get the punishment they deserve. 他们应该得到的。They certainly deserved to win that match. They certainly deserved to win that match. 他们当然值得赢得这场比赛 right? Deserve to do. Deserve to win the match. Okay, now let's do the exercise. What had he done to 受到这样的惩罚 Okay, can you? Yeah. Deserve the punishment, such kind of punishment. The next one, a sentence. 努力工作之后，你就应该有一个假期，你值得得到这个假期。So how to say? Yeah. After all that hard work, after working so hard, that hard, you deserve a holiday. You deserve a holiday. Or you can say you deserve to have a holiday. So deserve 加名词或者加不定式都可以，你值得得到一个假期。那么值得得到奖赏啊，假期，或者是理应受到惩罚，好的方面、坏的方面都可以这么说，都可以用 deserve 哈。Deserved 变成形容词了。So here means what? Earned because of good action or bad behavior, right? A deserved punishment. Here, deserve used as adjective, right? Past participle used as adjective. A deserved punishment, a deserved holiday. So what is it? 应受的惩罚，应得到的假期 right? Now this one is their victory was completely deserved. 那么这块是用作定语，这块是用作 be 动词之后的表语，都可以。他们的成功 their victory here means their success was completely deserved. 是他们应得的，因为他们付出努力了 right? Okay. Charge. Now here charge has many meanings. Now here, the first one is to ask an amount of money for something, especially a service or activity. Well, second, to state officially that somebody may be guilty of a crime. Well, to rush quickly towards somebody or something in order to attack them. Well, number 4. If a battery charges, it takes in and stores electricity. Okay, please bear them in your mind. Try to bear them in your mind. And let's have a look at the sentences. Okay, how much do you charge for a haircut? How much do you charge for a haircut? You charge somebody for some money for the haircut. Yeah, here, A, you choose A. Ask an amount of money for something. 收取多少钱，收费 因为什么而收费，对吗？那么绞这样一个头要收多少钱呢？你会收我多少钱 ？You charge me for a haircut some money, right? Does your car battery charges easily? Yeah, it's D. The battery 电池，也就是说你这个电池好充电吗 ？Takes in or stores electricity. Next one, I charged this man with receiving stolen goods. Charge somebody with the receiving stolen goods. So here, charge state officially that somebody may be guilty of a crime. 也就是我们说控告某人，这是后面加的是什么 ？Receiving stolen goods， 它是收了一些偷来的东西哈，那就是因为什么而控告某人 ？Charge somebody with something. The next one is only the wild animal charged at us. 那这个相对来说好理解一些，就相当于我们所说的 attack 袭击、攻击 attack. The soldiers charge the enemy. Well, the same meaning, right? Attack 袭击、攻击。Okay. Now, 好，那么这边这个 charge 也可以用作名词，我们来看一下几个句子。They were arrested on the charge of robbery. Robbery, remember rob. Robbery is a noun form. 抢劫 right? 他们被捕了，是因为被控抢劫 right? On the charge of robbery, here's a noun form. Number 2, what is the charge for a room? 那么这个房间，一间房间要收取多少费用呢 ？Charge. The books are under your charge. The books are under your charge. 在你的控制之下，你负责。然后第4个 ，They fixed my watch free of charge. 那么这个 free of charge 建议大家记一下，应该是免费的意思 ，free of charge 不收钱。好，那么这里头有一个短语是 in charge，in charge。好，那么看一下句子，应该能够知道它的含义。Jane will be in charge of the department when Sophie leaves. Jane 会在 Sophie 不在的时候、离开的时候来管理、负责这个部门 ，right? So here, in charge means being the person who has control of or is responsible for something, right? Be responsible for or control. 控制、负责 somebody be in control of something or maybe the department. 好，我们看一下这个翻译句子。I left Jack while I went to get the tickets. 我去买票的时候，我请 Jack 来帮我照看这个箱子 ，Jack 来负责这些箱子哈。那就是 I left Jack in charge of the suitcases. In charge of the suitcases while I went to get the tickets. Right? 好，那么刚才有了 in charge of 这块又有一个 in the charge of 多了一个定冠词 the， 但是它的含义可是和刚才是大相径庭的。我们来看一下 ，The department is in the charge of Jane。同学说含义可能差不多，但是好像主语彻底变了。刚才主语是人 Jane， right？ Jane is in charge of the department， 但是现在主语变成了 the department。is in the charge of Jane， 对，区别其实也就在这儿。那么这句话如果翻译起来就是这个部门是在 Jane 的控制之下，主语是事物的时候，那么我们用的是 in the charge of 被谁控制的，所以这感觉像是一个被动的关系，这个部门被 Jane 控制。那么刚才那句呢 ，Jane 控制或者是掌管这个部门，这感觉是主动的关系，对吗？好，我们再往下看。那么同样是这个句子，我们把它变成什么呢 ？Jack 负责照看着这些箱子。The suitcases are in the charge of Jack. Are in the charge of Jack. 由谁来控制负责？由谁来照看？那么主语是事物，对吧？好，所以希望大家把这两个来分清。那么接着我们往下，有一些短语书中出现的，比较相似。One after another, one another.One another。好，我们来看看句子来，是否能够把它们区分开来。第一个 ，I'm not surprised he's feeling ill. He was eating ice cream one after another. 好，他说我一点也不奇怪，他觉得不舒服，为什么呀？他一直在吃冰激凌，一直在吃凉的，一个接一个的吃 ，right? One after another， 所以一个接一个的 one after another。那么下面这个呢 ？They sat side by side and chatted to one another。side by side， 他们就是两个坐在一起，然后在聊天是吧 ？Chatted to one another， 彼此。那这个呢 ？One another。They went from one shop to another， 一个接一个的商店在逛哈，一个商店接一个商店在逛。那其实这个跟上面第一个是差不多的，只不过这个中间应该加一个宾语。They went from one shop to another， 对吧？好，下面你再看一下 as well 书中提到了，应该是 to 或者是 also 有也的意思。看一下句子。Jane went to the gymnasium. Mary went as well. Jane 去了健身房了 ，Mary 也去了 ，went as well 也对吧 ？Mary went there too, or Mary also went there. 好，那么 as well 要用的话，我们还是把它放在这个句子的后面，跟前面形成一定的并列关系。好，下面一句是 I'm going to London and my sister is going as well. 我要去伦敦，那么我的妹妹也打算去 as well。好，又出现了一个类似的是 as well as， 那么多了一个 as， 它的位置就变了。我们看一下 ，It's important for you as well as for me。这事儿对你来说，对我来说都很重要，对你来说重要，对我来说也重要。所以大家看一下 as well as， 它后面好像还得加东西，所以不能放在句尾。Important for you as well as for me, right? 下面一句 ，Your wife as well as you is friendly to me. 好，那么这句话，他说你的妻子和你对我都非常的友好，对吧？那么这里我把谓语动词 is 做了斜体，那这是什么意思？为什么是 you is 而不是 you are 呢？所以这里涉及到一个主谓一致的问题。这个谓语动词应该看谁呢？它应该去找 as well as 之前的这个主语，所以 your wife 应该是句子的真正主语，对吧 ？as well as somebody 这个所引导的是一个，咱们可以说是一个额外的部分，你不用去管它，找它之前的 your wife 是主语，谓语动词应该是 is。好，我们看一下下面一个 admit。Only members will be admitted to the club for tonight's performance. Be admitted to 允许进入 right? 那么他今年被这个学校录取了。He was admitted to the school this year. 被动用法 be admitted to 介词的 to。好 ，He admitted his guilty, his mistake. 那么这个不是录取的意思，应该是承认，对吧？他承认了自己的错误。She admitted that she had made a mistake， 也是承认的意思。那么这块 admit 既可以直接加名词，也可以加一个句子从句，表示承认的意思。好，接着往下。She admitted making a mistake. They admitted him to be mad. 那好，我们看到又是承认的意思。那它依旧还有一些别的用法 admit making doing something admit somebody to do 有很多用法，所以大家可以记一下 admit 加名词加动名词加不定式加从句都可以表示承认的意思，当然看的时候一定要再注意一下上下文。 Okay, now that's the words and the expression in this unit. I suggest that you should review what you have learned in the class within 24 hours. Well, now, so much for today's lesson. See you next time.